If you're anything like me, you're just dying to know what's next in Gray Zone Warfare, and you're starving for any new content. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am still enjoying Gray Zone Warfare, but there is only going to be so many M4s and AKs that you loot before it gets kind of stale. Don't get me wrong though, this game does have a unique premise, a very strong foundation, and could have a very bright future. Anyways, just a few days ago, the developers of Gray Zone Warfare gathered up a few content creators, and they shared a demonstration of their roadmap as well as other things that are being added into the game. And tons of it was actually brand new information to me. So it is confirmed with each major update there will be a wipe, meaning that you will lose all of your loot after the wipe. But a new start is always good to keep things fresh. Also, you might want to keep in mind that 1.0 release won't happen for a few years. I see some content creators saying it's going to take 3 to 4 years, some saying it's going to take 7. I highly doubt it's going to be 7, but you never know. I mean, look at Tarkov. Anyways, in just a few months, we should be getting the .2 wipe, which is hoped to be launched in September, but honestly, I could see it being delayed. This wipe's major feature will be the day-night cycle. There's only a few images of this available to the public, but man, it looks really good. They've even done astrology research to map out Southeast Asia's stars, and even the moon phases. With that, we'll also be getting night vision, flashlights, and lasers. From what it looks like, they're taking an extremely realistic approach with the night vision, working very closely to a company called Night Gear Solutions to give you the most authentic experience possible. Madfinger Games showed off their single tube night vision style, and the way it's explained, you can see out the left eye or right eye without night vision. You can candidly shoot out of both. This wipe will also be dropping more AK variants as well. Hopefully we'll be getting some buffs to 7.62 as well as 5.45 because they're literally hot garbage, at least compared to 5.56 in this game. Another huge feature in this wipe will be weapon degradation. Apparently mud, dust, and grime will be caked up on your weapon and will leave it useless. Also, coming along with the day-night cycle will be special tasks that you can only do at night. The AI will also be a lot more relaxed at night, as well as even go to sleep. Now, moving on to Wipe 3, which if all goes to plan, I would say drop around February or March of 2025. Its biggest feature will be the weather system. Apparently they're going to do it a lot different than anybody else and try to go for more realism. I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but someday we'll get a preview of it. They also stated that the weapons can degrade during bad weather. This wipe is also said to have major AI improvements, and I gotta say, I cannot wait for that improvement because we have some dingbat head-ass AI right now. Literally all they do is just rush towards you and have aimbot, one-tapping your sweet little butt cheeks from 100 meters away. There's also supposed to be a lot more lore coming with this wipe, in the form of newspapers, logs, and books. Nothing major, just a lot more lore. We'll also be getting the new CZ weapon platform, which I'm very excited for, and this wipe will build upon the weapon degradation system brought by the previous wipe, by bringing you new ways to repair armor and weapons. Now wipe 4 is where it gets extremely interesting, which I'm sad to say is a year away. This wipe brings all sorts of new features that I feel like will be a staple of the game, and make it much more unique. They're going to be adding a skill system that is unique to the game, and apparently never seen in any other game. The way that some people are saying this system is going to work is you work with an instructor and you do tasks for him to upgrade your skills, which is a pretty cool way to do it other than just using your weapon and upgrading skills for like an AR or a sniper or something like that. And these skills help you improve holding your breath longer, weapon sway, recoil, and these are all things that can give you the advantage in a fight. This wipe will also be adding multiple FOBs all over the map, also known as forward operating bases, that you and your faction can fight to take control of. You will also be able to spawn here, as well as there will be a special trader in the FOB. They're also adding a new feature where you can go rogue as a PMC, so you will be pretty much hunted down by your old faction. And I don't think it's just through team killing, I think that you can just do some kind of sus quest and really piss off your faction. But I'm sure they have a really high reward. You also won't be able to use your main base while you're rogue, but apparently you can use the FOB bases. As for how long you can be rogue, I'm not sure. It seems like maybe you reset after you die, or maybe you gotta do some kind of task to gain trust with your faction, or if you can try to join another faction. I mean, there's all sorts of ways this feature could be dealt with. As for Wipe 5, that's the one that we know the least about, but I'm sure in a year and a half we'll find out about some more features coming. The only features I could find anything about was crafting and workbenches, as well as HK platforms coming to the game. Hopefully we'll see some G36Cs, some MP5s, maybe a G3. HK just has tons of guns they could add. As for other things that were mentioned that could be coming very soon, or even the very distant future, they're adding faction patches. There is a detail about this that I'm not very fond of, and that's the possibility that they're adding IR functionality to these armbands, which in my eyes will take from the immersion because I don't think that that's a thing. Also, if somebody has night vision on, will the enemies be able to see your position? I don't know, it just sounds like a bad idea to me because you can always check your map and see if they're friendly. They're also adding the ability to drag bodies if they're in a coma, which could be very useful in a firefight. Also very funny if you can drag the enemies because I'm definitely going to be fucking with people. Also, the devs have claimed that they do not have any plans to add land vehicles, which is kind of sad, kind of not, but I mean, it's their vision of the game. They're also adding a feature where you have a radio so that you can talk to people in your faction from all across the map, which is going to save you a lot of time having to type a message to somebody in the menu. They're also adding a function where you can diagonally sprint. The way you sprint now is extremely frustrating when you're trying to move around like a tree branch or something. Also, they're making it to where helicopters can spawn on all sides of the map so that you get picked up a lot quicker. Another thing that I'm most excited about, which will make the game a lot more fun, is that they're finally adding valuable loot like watches, necklaces, and all types of valuable things, so that you can loot other stuff other than just guns and armor, which in my opinion will make the game extremely more dynamic, possibly even change the way that you play. Because if you don't have to kill people for loot, then you could just go on a loot run and just hide from other people and try to just sneak around the bots. Also, a console release is planned, but will not come out until 0.1 release. So if you are on console and you're planning on playing this game anytime soon, I am sorry to disappoint you. They also mentioned that Ground Zero is probably not going to be opened up until 0.1 release as well, which kind of sucks because I was really looking forward to that kind of stuff coming from Stalker. And obviously, with all the patches, they're going to be working on optimization as well as AI improvements all the time, so that is also in the works. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.